Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit special because today I'm going to share the two most important habits that I didn't realize made the biggest difference in my life until I skipped them one day. And that day I felt distracted, and not to mention I kept forgetting things the whole day. These two journaling habits helped me remain mindful and keep track of my whole day. And honestly, without realizing it, my days usually became productive and served a purpose. So if you ever feel like your days just slip away, like no matter how hard you try, you never seem to actually get anything done, you need these two simple journaling habits that will completely transform your days in a consistent, life-changing kind of way. And today I'll share them with you. One for the morning and one for the night. And it takes just 10 minutes, but they can help you finally take control of your time without feeling stressed or overwhelmed. So habit number one, I call this morning journaling. I keep a journal on my bedside table, and when I wake up, instead of picking up my phone, unless it's absolutely important, I pick up my journal instead, while still in bed. Because the first thing you do in the morning sets apart your entire day. Even if I have something I'm anxious about or stressed about, I write that in my to-do list. Then I will figure it out later in the day, not the first thing in the morning, because our body releases cortisol naturally after waking, called the cortisol awakening response. Healthy morning cortisol helps you feel alert, focused, and motivated, preparing your brain to engage with the day. However, when the first thing you encounter after waking is immediate stress, such as checking your phone, reading bad news, or getting pulled into arguments, it can cause cortisol to spike too sharply. This sudden surge pushes the brain into a reactive state, which often lingers as anxiety, irritability, or mental restlessness for hours, making the day feel heavier and more stressful than it needs to be. That is why psychology often recommends not starting your day with your phone or emotional conversations, because the first hour of your day helps establish your baseline mood, focus, and self-control. Since your brain is moving from a low control state, that is sleep, into an active one, whatever you feed it first, whether that is peace, calm, or stress and chaos, often becomes the default tone for the next few hours. This is sometimes explained through priming and mood congruence. Priming is the early stimuli influencing how you interpret what follows, and mood congruence means your initial mood affects how you perceive events later. So instead of overthinking or grabbing my phone, I make a to-do list instead. So I write down whatever I'm overthinking and I turn it into a task I need to resolve. This helps me direct my day without distractions, and willpower is strongest in the morning. Research on self-regulation also shows that mental energy is highest earlier in the day. That is why morning routines are easier to maintain, decisions made early feel clearer, and emotional control is better early on. This does not mean that the day is ruined if mornings go badly, but it does mean mornings are a strategic advantage. So if I'm being honest, there are a lot of days where I wake up with an overwhelming mind, or I didn't get good sleep because of something that worries me. But if I journal and make a to-do list the first thing in the morning, I've already structured my thoughts and ultimately my day. Instead of drifting through my day, I'm actively choosing where I want my time to go, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Some days I write 3 big things, some days 7 small things. What matters is that I know my direction. So let's say you're a student or a creative person, or like me, you're just trying to be more productive. You wake up and your journal says, write for 30 minutes on your story, reply to 3 emails, exercise for 20 minutes, or plan your meals for the day. Just seeing it on paper gives you clarity. You no longer wonder, what should I do next? And this is where you stop wasting time. It's just that simple. I also combine it with one more small tweak: prioritization. When I write the list, I highlight the 3 things that matter the most. Those 3 are non-negotiable. Everything else is secondary. Even Leonardo da Vinci believed in this principle. He didn't try to do everything. He focused on what would make the biggest impact, and so do I. So yeah, just 10 minutes of journaling in the morning, writing your to-do list only, directs your day without stress. You stop guessing, stop procrastinating, and start moving. This habit alone made me feel like I had hours of extra time every day, and honestly, this little morning ritual gave me so much peace even before breakfast. You can also do this ritual during breakfast, by the way, but you need to have a clear mind before you actually start. Now comes habit number 2. This is night journaling. If mornings are about direction, nights are about reflection and closure. And trust me, night journaling is what improved my mental health because it helps with my stress and anxiousness. Even if my day didn't go as planned, night journaling became a reset. From a psychological perspective, night journaling works because it provides cognitive closure. Our brain dislike unfinished business, known as the Zeigarnik's effect. So when tasks, worries, or emotions remain unresolved, the mind keeps looping them, especially at night. Writing them down tells the brain this is contained, which reduces mental rumination and makes sleep easier. At the end of the day, I sit down with my journal just for a few minutes. First, I review my to-do list from the morning. I cross out what I accomplished, a satisfying little victory in itself. Even if I didn't finish everything, I don't beat myself up. Instead, I ask myself, what can I do differently tomorrow? This aligns with self-compassion theory in psychology. Research shows that people who reflect with curiosity rather than self-criticism experience lower stress, less anxiety, and better emotional regulation. This is why journaling feels like a reset instead of a guilt session. And that is the key. It is not about judgment, it is about learning and redirecting. I also like to tweak a quote here, that I don't end my day in chaos, I will end it with clarity. That is exactly what night journaling does. It gives your brain a chance to offload everything so it's not spinning when you try to sleep. And speaking of sleep, this is where the gratitude list comes in. Before bed, I jot down 3 things I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's tiny. Gratitude is literally medicine. It rewires your brain to notice the positive even if the day was not perfect. And honestly, going to bed writing this every night made me wake up less anxious. My mind felt calmer, my perspective shifted. I was not just journaling for organization, I was journaling for peace and a positive mindset. Gratitude journaling is one of the most well-researched positive psychology tools. Studies show that listing a few things you're grateful for before bed shifts attention away from threat and worry, increases serotonin and dopamine activity, and improves sleep quality. And here is something I've realized. This habit is kind of like giving your day a bow, tying it up neatly, saying, okay, that is done, let's rest. Tomorrow we'll do better. It's a small habit but quietly transformed my life. And the bonus points, my morning to-do list was already more effective because my brain was not carrying leftover stress from yesterday. Night journaling acts as a psychological offload ritual. When you externalize thoughts onto paper, the brain no longer feels responsible for holding them overnight. This lowers cognitive arousal, helping the nervous system move from a stress state into a calmer, sleep-ready one. That's why you wake up lighter and why your mornings feel more effective. So even if my day felt chaotic, just doing this 5-minute ritual at night created a sense of control. I felt productive, peaceful, and ready to sleep. It made my day end with intention, not regret. And this is exactly why I call it a game changer. It was not flashy or dramatic, but it worked every single day. Together, these habits made my days purposeful and intentional. No more spinning, no more wasted hours, no more feeling lost in my own life. And the best part, you do not need fancy planners or apps, just a pen, a journal, and your commitment for a few minutes in the morning and at night. So yeah, before I wrap up, here is a little encouragement. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to check every single box. The point is consistency over perfection. The habits are small, but they compound over time. And even Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So I tweak it like, we are what we repeatedly plan, reflect, and celebrate. Excellence is a habit, and journaling is the key. That is exactly what I've realized with these 2 rituals. And if you try it, if you start journaling in the morning to direct your day, and at night to reflect and show gratitude, you'll notice something amazing. Your days will feel longer, your focus will improve, your mindset becomes positive, and most importantly, you finally feel like you're in control of your life. So that's it. My 2 journaling habits that completely stopped wasting my time. If you try it, let me know in the comments how it goes, and maybe your journal will start revealing what your mind needs. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.